Young Remi was already a working-class university graduate who loved to dress well and look good. But she wasn't a very social person, and that bothered her sister. Young Bola was a friend to her family before he traveled abroad. But Remi didn't remember who he was anymore. Her sister had to remind her. Anyway, the sister did the matchmaking that would later become one of the most celebrated unions in the world. When she looked into his eyes, she saw kindness, and that got her heart. She thought he had very kind eyes. That was one of the things that attracted her to him. She always believed that from the eyes, one would know the mind of a person, and that was what made him get her. His very kind and penetrating eyes. And so, the chapter of the love story began. The moment he saw her, he just knew she was a wife material. For her, she saw that he had a good job and that he was very serious about it. He also had lofty plans about the future. She has always been generous in her own way too. And from that moment, she thought it would be an interesting relationship to go along with. She looked at the whole scenario and thought that somebody was trying to introduce her to a journey. And she concluded that it was a journey she wanted to be a part of. For her, it was either a relationship would work from the beginning or not. And to her satisfaction, she realized that it was a relationship that required seriousness and not one to play with. So she knew that they were ready to settle down for the real business. And when the love bug beat her, she was also interested in him, and she didn't waste time in accepting her match. The most interesting part for both of them was the attraction they had for each other from the very beginning. He might have had someone else when she began to date him, but she didn't have to compete for his heart. She has never been one to do competition with anyone. She has always been a very confident person. In any case, he knew that with her, he had met the right woman. At 25 years old, she had her rules about relationships. One of them was never to barge into a man's house uninvited. So whenever she was going to see him, he usually knew in advance that she was coming. She learned this from her mother. They didn't really have a long courtship before they got married. Born into an Anglican family, not even religion could draw them apart. Her father extracted a promise from him not to stop her from being a Christian, and he never deviated from his assurance. And today, she's a better Christian now because of her marriage to him, because of the stabilizing factors. They've never really had a lovey-dovey relationship, but they have been supportive of one another. He started by simply calling her by her first name, Remi, but now he calls her mommy and she calls him daddy. She has been with him from his time in the corporate world to the time he got into politics, and she has been a pillar behind him in all the positions he has occupied. Remi and Bola Tinubu are married with 3 children, Zainab Abisola Tinubu, Habibat Tinubu, and Olayinka Tinubu. Remi Tinubu is also the stepmother to Bola Tinubu's 3 children from previous relationships. They have been married since 1987. President Bola Tinubu and Senator Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, a marriage made in heaven.